everyone, welcome to Weekend Yoga with Jules. I'm really excited to bring you today's practice. We are going to slow it down a little bit, go back to basics. We're going to be holding poses for a little bit longer than we're used to. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so this practice is meant to be not only physically centering and aligning, but it's meant to give you the time on your mat to kind of do the same thing mentally, do a little self-check-in. So let's hop on the mat. We're going to hop into a child's pose. And for this child's pose, we're going to start with the legs glued together, sinking the hips back towards the heels. We're really taking our time today, so just folding over. We're going to bring the arms back with the palms up. And just melt forward. And start to come into a nice even breath. Inhale, fill the lungs. With every exhale, think about melting a little bit more into your mat. Feel the lungs expand, feel the air come in through your nose. Start to release any tension that you might be feeling, especially in the upper back and in the neck. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to take the knees as wide as the mat, but keep the toes together. Keep the hips sinking back towards the heels. And then walk the hands out in front this time. So keep those hips sinking and stretching back as we stretch the fingertips in the opposite direction. And again, just melt your forehead down to the mat. Maybe keep walking those fingertips forward a little bit, stretch a little more through the arms and shoulders, and keep that nice even breath count. You can do a 3 count or a 4 count in and out. Walk those fingertips a little bit further forward. And then we're going to walk them over towards the right upper corner of the mat, cross left arm over right, and sink into that left hip. So we're stretching all along the left side body. And then we'll take it to the other side. Walk your hands through center, walk them over to the left side of the mat, cross the right hand over the left, sink down into that right hip. Taking nice even breaths. Keep the fingertips stretching away. And keep the hips sinking heavy. And then walk the hands center. Rise up just a few inches. Press into the right hand. We're going to take the left arm and thread it underneath. We'll keep walking the fingertips out and let the upper body spiral. Press into that right hand. Keep sliding the left arm. And you can lift the hips a little for a little extra twist, a little extra help into this stretch. Sink the left shoulder and push into the right hand gently. can relax your head. Slowly unwind. Take a moment in center. And then we'll take it to the other side. Slide the right arm through. Lift those hips just a few inches. Press into the left palm. Unwind, send it back to center, stretch it back into your child's pose. And slowly make your way up to all fours. Bring the knees in. Take a second to align the shins so that they're parallel. And we're going to take the hands out in front of us about a foot to a foot and a half. Keep the hips right over the knees. We're coming into heart to earth pose. So for this first one, I want you to take your hands as wide as your mat. My fingertips are kind of hanging off of the mat. And sink your chest through your arms as you tip your tailbone high. So this kind of feels like a downward facing dog. You might have to adjust the hands as you sink. But see if you can keep the elbow creases lifted and spinning up towards the sky. So not just letting the arms collapse, at least not yet. Drop the chest. Keep active arms, press into the entire palm. And just release the low back. You can drop forehead to earth. Slowly make your way back up to all fours. Do a little shake side to side. So if you think your shoulders are ready for a little deeper stretch, we're going to repeat heart to earth with arms a little closer together. So we're in our all fours position. We'll walk those hands out in front of us, right in front of the shoulders. And then sink the chest low, lift the hips high, pull the belly button in. So even though we're stretching, it's a nice active pose. Keep inching those fingertips forward, keep lifting the tailbone. And then check in with the core. We want to be lifted and pulled in slightly through the abdominals. And check in with the breath. Are we still with that even 3 or 4 count? Continue to scan the body for any areas of tension. And just exhale, let it go. Maybe do the same thing with your thoughts today. Slowly rise up. Come back into that all fours position. Knees come right under the hips. We'll tuck the toes. And slowly take a little rock forward and back. So hips are sliding back. Try to keep them neutral, right? We're not tucking or dropping just yet. Slide the hips back, stretching into the soles of the feet, a little bit into the calves, and release any tension. And come back up to all fours. Take a nice big inhale, and a full exhale, all the air out. Send those hips back, stretch the soles of the feet. We tension to our feet, but we do hold plenty of tension there. And our feet carry us everywhere, so sometimes it's nice to just give them a little love. Slowly come back up. Maybe do a little ankle roll here. Flex and extend the toes a few times. And we'll do that one more time. Take a nice big inhale. A little deeper this time. Exhale, even more air out. Neutral pelvis as we sink back, stretching into the soles of the feet. Be gentle, gentle but firm. And again, check in. Are you holding tension in the shoulders, in the neck, even in the jaw? Slowly rise back up to all fours. We're going to come into a hero's pose. I'm going to turn and face you so you can see alignment. This can be a little tough on the knees, so if knees are cranky, go ahead and grab a pillow or a block or a big book or something and just place it right between your feet so you can prop your hips up a little. It'll be a bit more forgiving on the knees. Knees are okay, we're going to bring the legs together, inner thighs, knees, and calves, and just sink the hips back to the heels here and sit tall. Palms come to the thighs. And let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, release them down your back. And again, inhale, scrunch them up, maybe a little tighter. Exhale, maybe relax a little more tension out of the shoulders. Let's do that again. Inhale all the way up to the tippy top of the ears. And then exhale, open up the collarbones here. Slide the shoulder blades down and lengthen through the back of the neck. So we're really grounded down here through our foundation. Let's bring hands to heart center. On an inhale, lift the hands, reach for the sky. Exhale, we'll twist across to the left. So right hand can come to the outside of the left thigh. Left fingertips, we're just going to keep reaching them back behind us. So we're in an active twist here. We're not cranking ourselves around. With every inhale, think about lengthening through the spine. With every exhale, think about twisting just a hair further. And then inhale, unwind, and come center. Maybe roll those shoulders a few times. We'll bring hands back to heart center. Inhale, lift high up out of the hips. Exhale, twist around to the right this time. Left hand to the outer thigh. Back fingertips are reaching. Gaze towards your back fingertips. Glide those shoulders down. So even though this is a seated position, there's still a lot of work being done. We're lifting up out of the hips. I'm not just hanging out, right? We're lifted, we're grounded, and we're reaching. So lots of opposition going on. Hang in there, come back to the breath. One more inhale. One more exhale to twist a little deeper. And release and come center. And just come off of the legs a little bit. Do a little shake side to side. And we're coming into a slow cat-cow. So take a moment to align. We're going to lift one finger at a time just to check in with the hands. So lift up the thumbs. They might not even lift off the floor. That's okay. lift up through the index finger, middle finger, then ring finger and pinky. Press into the whole palm, the perimeter of the hand, that little fleshy part between the thumb and index. And we'll take some slow shoulder rolls here. So just like we did in Hero's Pose, except now our hands are kind of fixed. We inhale, send the heart forward and up to the sky. Exhale as we circle the torso back and drop the chest towards the floor. Do a couple of slow circles, getting the shoulders warmed up and mobile, and we're moving with the breath. And let's reverse that circle, so we're going back first, then up to go forward. Do a little mental check-in with the spine. Are we in neutral, or are we kind of emphasizing any curves? The bigger the circle, the more intention you move with, the warmer you're going to get. And then find a neutral. Turn your fingertips out to the side and then towards you. Take a nice big inhale, exhale, slowly shift back, stretch into the forearms. Be very gentle with this. Some nice relaxing sighs. And then unwind, shake it out. Flip the hands. Let's do one hand at a time here. Flip the right hand so the palm is facing up, the fingertips are towards you, and take a very gentle lean back. We're stretching out all the muscles on the top of the wrist, the top of the forearm. If you type all day, this is a really nice release for those muscles. Release, shake it out. We'll do the left side, flip the palm up. On an exhale, take that gentle lean back. Check in with the neck. And we're still held here, right? We're not collapsed in the shoulders. We're lifting gently through the abdominals. It's all about alignment today, which takes mental focus, physical work. All right. Check in, make sure knees are under the hip points. Shins are parallel. Take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. We're going to pause here. Usually we flow through cat-cow, but we're slowing it down today. See how much you can relax the front body and engage the back body. So engage the shoulder blades, engage the low back. And again, we're lengthening to lift. We're not just cranking it back. We're keeping the back of the neck long. And with every exhale, just think about deepening the stretch. Even if it's very subtle. Slowly come back to neutral. This time, draw the belly button in. Take a big inhale here. And on your exhale, we're rounding over into our cat pose. So we're pulling belly button to the sky and really relax through the neck here. I'm pressing and engaging into my foundation, right? I'm not just rounded over. I'm really pressing here into my palms and even into my shins. So it just gets a little deeper stretch into the back body. We're breathing, we're relaxing. Come back to your neutral nice and slow. Sit back, maybe roll out those wrists. This time we are going to take a flow through that cat-cow with intention and with that same purpose and alignment. So with the breath, on an inhale, we tip up and release the front body. to the ground. Inhale, release. Fill the lungs from top to bottom. Exhale all the air out, every last ounce. And one more time. Come back to your neutral. Tuck your toes. We're finding a downward facing dog. Nice soft knees to start. Lift those hips up high. Send the chest through the arms. Do a little pedal out, right, left. Relax into the neck. And slowly take that side to side pedal into a walk, all the way into a forward fold. Hang over those legs. Take ragdoll arms, gentle sway. And release the arms. Bend the knees, roll up one backbone at a time. Real slow, stretch through the spine. Press those feet hard into your foundation. Stretch through the neck. And as you come up to standing, lift the chest, let the shoulders roll back. Find a strong mountain pose here. We're going to come into tree pose in a moment. I'm going to turn and face you. First, set up a strong foundation. Today's all about working with the foundation, right? Your feet are supporting you, so really connect down through the toes. You don't have to press them, just connect. Reach the fingertips towards your mat and the crown of your head in the opposite direction. Squeeze the legs together and forward. And squeeze your glutes together. That's going to give you stability. Draw energy up through the kneecaps. Up through the abdominals. Shift onto your right leg. Gently lift. Roll that left ankle a few times and turn the leg out from the hip. Place the sole of your foot. Let's do kickstand first. Let's everyone come to kickstand. Because I want you to reconnect with your standing leg. Squeeze that standing glute and press into the heel and the forefoot. So now you should be nice and connected, nice and stable. And if you want, you can bring the foot all the way up into tree, a full tree pose, into the inner thigh. Just be careful not to be on the knee itself. I'm going to come down to the shin, to the calf area. And if you want, you can start to lift those arms up overhead. Take a few moments here. Find a focal point. Continually check in with your foundation. Are you still pulling the kneecap up? Are we still engaging the glute and back of the leg? Press the sole of that lifted foot into the leg, leg into foot. Take one more round of breath. And then slowly turn the knee in. Bring it on down. Shake out the standing leg. Standing leg did a ton of work there. Come back to your mountain pose. Work through that checklist again. Feet are pressing, kneecaps are lifting, backs of the legs are squeezing, abdominals are lengthening. So we'll go ahead and shift onto the left leg, take the other side. I'm going to let you focus here. I'm not going to say much this time. ready, slowly with control, bring it on in and shake it out. Come to the front of your mat. We'll flow through a slow vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Big stretch overhead. Exhale, take a dive forward through flat back. Inhale, slide it up to a halfway lifted position. Exhale, step back into a high plank. You can lower knees to the floor if you need to. Lengthen out, shift it forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra here. Whatever you're ready for. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift it up into that downward facing dog. Lifting those hips nice and high. And just like heart to earth pose, we're stretching the chest through the arms, relaxing the neck, lifting hips high. On an inhale, we're going to lift the left heel up, way up behind you. Exhale, take a big step forward. Keep lifting and then plant the foot. Warrior one, so the back foot pulls in a little. I like to take my legs out wide for balance, so this is going to be much harder to hold than this. So my back toes are facing the corner of the mat. Really connect down through the outer edge of your back foot. We're taking our time here with our alignment. Press into the whole foot, front and back. Hands to hips. Bend into that front knee. And rise up for warrior one. Point your fingertips forward and just check out where those hips are facing. If they need to adjust, slide the left hip back. So everything's facing forward. Give the tailbone a little tuck. Give the glute a nice squeeze. When you're ready, lift the arms up overhead. Any position you want. I think a little prayer hand today feels nice. And let your exhale sink you lower into that front leg as the back calf begins to stretch and lengthen. Are you with the breath? Deepening the bend. One more inhale and then exhale. Slowly bring it down. See how controlled you can make your transition. Flow through a little vinyasa. And we'll take the other side. Inhale the right heel way up. Exhale, take a big step forward. And again, the back foot pulls in and open to the side if you want a little extra balance today. And I'm gonna let you set up here and work into this pose. Feel free to pause this video, work here as long as you need to. Another option is to hook the thumbs and pull apart. It engages the upper back a little. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then slowly release. Bring it on down with control. Step the back leg forward into your fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale. release. And inhale, rise through flat back all the way up, reaching high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And nice and slow, move through the entire space around you. Inhale. How far can you reach? Exhale, we dive forward. Inhale, we slide halfway. And exhale, flow through your vinyasa. From down dog, we'll inhale the left heel way up. Exhale, take a big step forward. And coming into a crescent lunge. So everything's facing forward, toes, knees, hips, and shoulders. And really press through this back heel. Tuck the tailbone under. Stay lifted a little bit. Don't just drop and sink, right? We want to lift through the abs. Press the back hip forward. And bring the arms alongside of the ears for high crescent lunge. Nice open heart space, open collarbones. One more inhale. One more exhale, bring it down, flow through vinyasa. We are not rushing anything today. If you want to pause at any point of your vinyasa and check out your alignment, or even just stay here in up dog for a few breaths and stretch. From down dog, we'll take the right side, inhale the right leg way up behind you. Big step forward. Lengthen first, get that foundation solid first. And I'll let you breathe here. Come back to the strength of your breath. Just like in that initial child's pose that we did to start class. We're breathing. On your next exhale, bring it on down. Step the back leg forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. And inhale, rise up through flat back. Big reach high. And exhale, hands to your heart. Recenter on your mat if you need to. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, big dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, flow through vinyasa. Come into a downward facing dog. And this time we'll lift the right heel up first. Inhale. Exhale, send it forward. Find a nice long, low runner's lunge here. So I'm peeling the right hip crease back. I'm straightening through that back left leg. And then I'm going to start to twist towards the right. So my foot twists, pivoting on the heel. My back foot comes down onto the edge. And I'm placing my weight on this left hand here. So now everything's facing the right side of my mat. And I'm gonna lift the arm up, right arm reaches for the sky. So I'm getting a deep rotator stretch here. And then just bend the back knee, come down, sit on the hip. We're coming into cow legs. This can be a really intense hip stretch, so adjust as you need. I'm keeping both knees bent, so really twist it up right now. Try to bring the right hip point to the floor. Sit right on top of the hips. Again, if you need to keep the knees a little more open, that's fine. If you want, you can grabbing my mat. Tuck that top leg in a little bit and sit tall. So let's tap into the alignment here as those hips stretch. Let the exhale take you deep into that hip stretch. Slowly unwind, start to face the front of your mat. Just swing this top leg carefully around. We'll come into all fours. Go ahead and flow through a vinyasa, or even take a child's pose if that's what you're feeling today. Take a breath or two here in your downward dog. And we'll take the left side on an inhale, send the left heel up behind you. Exhale, take a big lifted step forward. And find that low lunge. Slide the left hip crease back. And this time, so I'm going to be facing away from you. We're going to face the left side of the mat. So turn the left toes, turn the body so you're on the outer edge of the back foot. We're supported with the right arm. And the left fingertips reach for the sky. So deep hip stretch here. You can hold this for as long as you'd like. And then just sit, bend the back knee, sit on this right hip. And then try to place the left hip on the floor, stack knee over knee. I'm going to turn just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit, get a little side view of alignment here. So if you feel like you're still shifted way over and there's space under your hip, try to shift. You can open up the knees if you need to. I know this is a really intense hip opener. But once you're here, settle in. Sit tall, check in with the neck. And when you're ready, slide this top leg around. Come into an all fours position. Do a little shake side to side. And I'm going to give you the option of flowing through one final vinyasa or just finding a child's pose, whatever you need today. When you're ready, swing the legs around front. Bring the soles of the feet together. Scoot your heels in close to you. If you've got super tight hips, feel free to sit up on a pillow or a block or something. We don't want you to feel like you're off balance. We're nice and stacked. On your next exhale, gently use your elbows to open up the hips a little more. Fold forward a bit. If it's in your practice, you can go ahead and fold all the way forward. On an inhale, stack the spine nice and slow, rolling up one backbone at a time. And let's make our way down onto our backs. Hug the knees to your chest. Do a slight rock side to side. You can take happy baby by reaching for the outer edges of your feet. Pushing a little bit, so push feet into hands, hands into feet. Lengthen the tailbones, a really nice low back release. Little rock side to side. And when you're ready, bring the soles of the feet together. Lower the legs to the floor. And you can take your Shavasana just like this and recline to cobbler's pose, or you can send the legs out long. But we'll start to melt down into the floor. Let everything go. Feel free to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you need. You can pause the video. If you're ready to move on with your day, start to bring a little movement back into the fingertips, hands, wrists, soles of the feet, toes, and ankles. Rock the head gently side to side. Send the legs long, the arms high. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, release. Gently fold onto one side. Pause here for a moment. And when you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And let's seal in that practice. Place the palms down for grounding. Place the palms up for gratitude. And I'm going to bring my hands, my palms to my heart. And thank you guys for joining me today with this practice. I hope that was helpful in alignment, both physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever that means for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank yourselves for taking the time to get onto your mat. Let's bring thumbs to third eye center, bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure teaching yoga. Looking forward to next week, and I will see you in a week. Have an awesome weekend.